What's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse, and I am at the Renaissance Faire today, and I'm doing my entire Google Pixel 4 XL review at the Ren Faire. So this is the Google Pixel 4. It comes in two different sizes. There's a 5.7-inch Pixel 4, and then there's also the 6.3-inch Pixel 4 XL. It comes in three different colors. There's just black, clearly white, and so orange, which is the one I have. And they come in two different sizes, 64 gigs or 128 gigs. I have the 128 gig. This phone starts at $799 for the Pixel 4. The 4 XL is $899. Those are both the 64 gig versions. If you want to increase in size to 128, which I highly recommend, you need to add an extra $100. The size of this phone is 75.1 millimeters by 160 by 4 millimeters by 8.2 millimeters, and that's 193 grams, so it's pretty lightweight. So luckily this thing is IP68 dust and water protected, so I'm not too worried about it getting too dusty out here because I can just wash it off. Also, check out the nice matte aluminum frame around the edges. It's so pretty, and the back on the white and the orange is this nice soft touch Gorilla Glass 5, while the just black version has a shiny back, so I'm glad I got the orange as opposed to the black because it would pick up fingerprints, and this one does not. It feels very, very smooth, really like the 3XL. USB 3.1 is on the bottom, that's Gen 1, and there's also a volume and a power button on the side. If you're looking for the SIM slot, that's on the opposite side. So I picked this up off the charger this morning before we left for the Renaissance Faire, and it was at 100%. I'm at 73% now, and it's like 345 just about. Now if I go into my battery usage, that'll show you a little bit more information. I haven't been using it very long, so I feel like the battery is not lasting that long. It's a 3700 milliampere hour battery on the 4XL. The Pixel 4 has a much smaller battery, so I'm a little worried that one wouldn't last as long. I wonder if this is because of the 90 Hertz. That would probably make the battery go out pretty quickly. We're in Alice in Wonderland. It's so neat. Whoa. So I did want to mention that I do have 128 gigs of storage on here. Used to be that with Pixel phones you could get free unlimited high-resolution original quality photo backups through Google Photos. Now with the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 4 XL, you do not get the full resolution original quality backups. They only give you free backups to Google Photos for the high resolution, which is lower resolution than original. That's something to keep in mind. Some other specs I wanted to mention, you do get 6 gigs of RAM in this phone as opposed to 8 gigs, and it's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855, not an 855 Plus, though the difference is only about 0.10 gigahertz in clock speed, so you probably won't notice a difference between an 855 and an 855 Plus. It also has an Adreno 640 inside as well. As far as connectivity goes, you get 4G LTE. It's not 5G. There is no 5G Pixel 4 or Pixel 4 XL. You also have Bluetooth 5.0, which is a lot more secure than Bluetooth 4.0, and Wi-Fi with 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and you get up to AC with wireless. Google Cast is also included, as well as NFC and eSIM in case you don't have a SIM card. You can also use this for wireless charging, and you can stick it on a Pixel stand. If you don't have a Pixel stand, it does support Qi charging as well, so you could probably use it with any Qi charging stand that you want. It also supports 18-watt fast charging too, and it does come with an 18-watt fast charger that you can plug it into. I think that one of the coolest new applications on here is called Recorder, and that allows you to record your speech as you're talking, and you can record for as much storage as you have on the phone. So as I'm recording, I'm also getting a live transcript of everything that I'm saying, and this will be searchable later on if I want to go searching for a specific word. So if I wanted to search for the word pixel, it'll highlight each time that I say pixel during this transcript. I can save it as a file and then go back to it. So that's kind of cool. When you record on the recorder, you can also add a location, but I'm not going to because I don't like adding locations to things. So here's my transcript. So if I want to search for the word pixel, it will highlight both of the times that I said pixel. That is so cool. So why would you use this? If you are a blogger and you hate writing, or if you are in a classroom and you want to record what your professor is saying, both of those could be very, very handy. I am so excited about this. Live captioning is now enabled by default in the Pixel 4 XL. So if you press down on the volume knob, you will see a live caption icon which allows you to basically live caption whatever you're watching. So if you're watching a video, you want to mute it, but you still don't want to miss anything, it will now actually stick the live captions down at the bottom. And they seem to be pretty accurate too, which is really cool. I didn't even know this would happen, but it's still live captioning even though I'm clicking away from there. Go away. Oh, you can move it, look. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know you could do that. That's amazing. Okay, I honestly don't know if it was supposed to do that, but it was doing it, so that's fine. This is something I also wanted to show y'all. If you are looking for directions, so if I turn on directions, it'll show me where to go. Now if you want to listen to music, that's integrated right in the maps. And if you want to share your progress, you can choose to share your progress with a friend. So Active Edge is still included in here, so if I click on that, you can tell that I'm turning on Google Assistant, which is really cool and so useful. There's also an ambient light sensor built into this too, so if you're in a dark place, it will automatically turn down the brightness for you. So I wanted to mention Motion Sense as well, which was also called Project Soli. Before I show you this, it was integrated into the top with a little radar sensor. And whenever you actually use this, the data is stored locally and it doesn't involve your camera. So supposedly this will allow you to wave your hand in front of it, and this should turn on the screen, like it just did for me. This will also let you swipe between songs, and you can hang up and turn off a call too if you don't want to answer a call. I know a lot of people think this is a gimmick. I personally don't. I think that it's something that you can naturally get used to, and it does increase the speed of using your phone as well. I think it's pretty cool, especially if you just want to see notifications on your lock screen. However, I do suggest when you use notifications on your lock screen to turn off any personal information. So real quick, I did want to mention Face Unlock on this thing because, surprise, there is no fingerprint sensor built into this phone at all, which means you either have to unlock this thing with a PIN code or your face. That also means that some applications currently, they require you to type in the entire password. So I will give you an example. I use LastPass's password manager on my phone, and I have a very long password for LastPass. Whenever I want to log into LastPass or I want to autofill other applications on this phone, that means that I have to type in my very long LastPass password, my master password, every single time I need to unlock that application. I could leave it unlocked, which is not as secure, or I could set it with a PIN code, which would be a lot faster, but that's also not as secure. So I'm being forced to use something that's more convenient, but is not more secure. I don't really like that a lot. So I really wish that there was a fingerprint sensor on this phone as well as Face Unlock. Now LastPass has stated that in the future they will be able to use Face Unlock on the Pixel 4, but that's currently not available. So I'm stuck with either a PIN or typing in my really long master password every single time. Now Face Unlock is available, but it's not super secure. And I say that because it works with your eyes closed. It works if you're holding the phone upside down. It works whether you have glasses on or off, or if you have sunglasses on. It works in a lot of variables. The only time I was not able to get it to work is when I was wearing a Korean face mask. You know, one of those that you plaster onto your face and wear for 15 minutes to make your skin look beautiful. That was the only time I was not able to get this thing to unlock. I do wish that Face Unlock was a little bit more secure and forced you to be alert when you're using it. Kind of like Face ID works on the iPhone, but currently it works with your eyes closed. So do I recommend using it? Probably not. They will be updating it to offer more secure features like advanced security with Face Unlock, but currently that's just not available. The Pixel 4 XL features a Quad HD Plus flexible OLED screen, and that's at 537 pixels per inch. It's a 19:9 aspect ratio, which is pretty good. It looks really great whenever you're watching movies in widescreen. HDR support is included along with 90 Hz for the refresh rate for the display, and that is a Gorilla Glass 5 display. Now when you are watching something in widescreen aspect ratio as opposed to squishing it, it does look a little uneven because there's a big bezel at the top and there's a little bezel at the bottom. I don't mind the bezels that much though because I'm really happy that there's dual speakers. So there's a stereo speaker here and there's a stereo speaker on the bottom. So you get really nice, loud, clear audio. With that said though, there is no Dolby Atmos support. As far as the cameras go, on the rear there is a telephoto camera. That one's 16 megapixels with 1.0 micron pixel size. It does have autofocus, OIS, and EIS built in, and it does f2.4 aperture at 52 degrees field of view. There's also a normal camera on the back, which is 12.2 megapixels, 1.4 micron pixel size. That one also has autofocus with optical and electronic image stabilization built in. It's f1.7 aperture at 77 degrees field of view. That camera can do 1080p at 30, 60, and 120 FPS, 720p at 240, which means slow-mo, or 4K at 30 FPS. You don't get 4K at 60. The front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel 1.22 micron pixel size. It's a fixed focus lens, f2.0 aperture, and it's 90 degrees field of view. We lose the ultra wide on the front, which is a real disappointment for me because I always use the ultra wide for selfies. That front facing camera can do 1080p at 30. I really wish there was an ultra wide camera on the front and the back, and just the fact that it doesn't have one is a huge drawback for me. So I've been playing with the camera enough today to know that live HDR seems to be working, but there's no icon to tell me that it's actually enabled, so I have no way of actually knowing if it's truly giving me HDR plus like it should be. But Live HDR Plus is supposed to be enabled by default. I also noticed that burst mode has changed. It's called Top Shot with the Google Android phones. Now you can either do a short recording, which records in basically 720p, and you can choose a picture out of a line of photos, or you can choose motion, and then you can get a full resolution photo out of a whole series. And I'll give you a couple of examples so you know what I'm talking about. I would definitely suggest turning on motion over just taking a video because the video is lower quality. I will give you a whole bunch of camera comparison photos between this one and the 3XL because I do want to compare the two cameras side by side so you'll get a good example. That'll be a completely separate video from this one. So my final impressions on this phone, it is rather expensive. It is quite a bit more expensive than the 7T and the 7 Pro and the 3XL. So you could save money and get any of those phones as opposed to the 4XL. But this one does have a lot of technology built in. While I did lose the ultra-wide camera, and there is no ultra-wide camera on the back, which I absolutely love using all the time, it does include a lot of awesome electronics and upgraded technology that you just get from Google. And that's something that I can really appreciate about this phone. I may suggest waiting a little bit before you purchase this and giving them some time to upgrade the software, give you some better security with Face Unlock, because I definitely would not use Face Unlock. It's not that secure compared to Face ID on an iPhone. So it's something that I would not enable that at the moment. I would wait a little bit. If you have any questions about things that I didn't cover in today's review, definitely leave those in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And make sure to subscribe and like this post and share it with your friends if you enjoyed it. I know Atreyu would appreciate it as well. This is Atreyu. You saw him all today. I hope you like him. He's very, very sweet. Feel free to pet him anytime you see me at a Renaissance Fair. He loves making friends. So I think that's about it for today's video. Make sure to tweet me at Snubs if you have any questions as well. I'm constantly online, so I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. I just unlocked the phone by looking at it. Again, it happens all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm Shannon Morse. Thank you so much to my s'mores for watching this very strange Renaissance Fairy review of a new technology. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video very, very shortly. Bye!